seconds till it closes, and they're inching their way in. It looks like they're going to be able to make it, though. 90 builds for Cesar here. Do have some duos in their field of view, right? Looking at them, but so far they're not taking shots, so pretty free rotate.
It just makes me laugh a little bit on the inside, knowing that supply drop has been there for about like a zone and a half. Nobody daring enough to try to make a play for it because of how risky. Everybody in the lobby is keeping their eyes on it like a hawk. They don't want to let a free bunch of resources go over to anybody, and that's exactly why it's still there. But finally, one team is going to pick it up, and they're going to be center zone. And a lot of people center zone on this one, you know as well as I do, if they don't get the pull, they might have to force out that launch pad they just got.
I mean, you saw the amount of teams on the north side of the zone here in the POI. They got to be careful because the rotation, there's already some duos positioned up on the high ground, on that mountain, and they're going to be looking around for the tags. They want to get those tags from afar. They don't have to risk it later on in a box fight or an engagement. So you can even see here, Notch and Salty, they're already looking at stopping some duos here from rotating with their vehicles, getting that damage done, getting those tags as all these duos try and make their rotate.
Just a quick one to try to target the car. Not a ton of damage going to be able to put on it. You almost want to hope the rest of the lobby takes notice of that huge, impactful rotational tool and try to get it out of the game as quick as possible. But you as a team cannot overpeak and become a target from players who might be looking for that surge. But Pargs and Raze, I'm always going to look at them as a little bit of a pseudo pick. When everything is on the line, they always figure out a way to perform. And it's not only as a duo, they always find a way to do it as solos if they have to.
Look, I think Pargs and Raze, I think they got that consistency.
Yep.
They're going for that. You can see they're in the 6th place spot. They're on that cutoff right now, and they want to keep bumping themselves up here. They have the loot they need, but you can see they have 0 eliminations. They're playing for the late game. They're playing for those points every single game here. Looking at the feed, though, Landjock goes down alongside Punisher. So we did get the reboot, but they were unable to finish it off here. 65 players up, 34 duos. Let's take a look at this replay.
Ooh, Fabs. Snacky Panda's got to be smiling somewhere in the studio as they pick up another elimination, and that was on Punisher and Landjock, so they were already under siege. So it just goes to show how the reigning, defending FNCS champions are always figuring out a way to take advantage of anybody at any moment.
Fabs and Snacky, 3 eliminations now. Looking at Show on Blast on the right side. 0 eliminations, 186 below, and they know it as they look for a little bit of an aggressive play here. Taking some shots with that epic drum shotgun. Show trying to find an angle onto his opponent as Blast is playing close here. They're against the duo, though. They are at full HP, full shield, so could be a little risky for Show here as he's not too healthy at the moment, but they want it. They know they need the damage. Blast is going to get cracked here. Show is also going to get cracked, and they're both going to be getting eliminated here.
Even though they did go down, I like the way that they didn't try to out-heal it. We saw so many teams go down, but Arkham and Epic, the multi-time champions, hearing that fight go down, they knew it ended, and immediately they too are trying to take advantage, hoping that the players are still weak and they're taking away the pieces, forcing them low towards the low ground, taking that high layer so they can put that pressure from the top and probably make them pop if they get that opportunity.
I mean, you can tell from their aggression in the early game to their aggression in the late game. Epic Whale and Arkham, they're feeling good. They're feeling confident. This could be their game, Jacob, as they continue scavenging this loot, looking to see what they can find, maybe top off some materials, get a little bit more shields. As Storm Surge, they're already more than they have more than enough damage done. So zone has closed on the south side of the map, so they're gonna have to make a rotate. But if you look at the amount of duos on their side, it shouldn't be too difficult if the whole lobby doesn't start focusing them.
Yeah, and already you can see what their plan is. They know that duo's already there. They're gonna let them go ahead and take that high ground. You see Arkham just trying to get out, stay alive. They have 2 pads. They have so many heals. They realize how important it is to make it towards the next zone to where they're easily gonna be able to rotate. Coxie's out. Notorious trying to do it by himself. He's forced to try to out-heal it, but as soon as he edits out to make the run, he makes that run all the way back to the lobby.
You can see now Vixby, Slixy, they're kind of in a tough situation, getting that last second rotated. We have Salty and his duo partner Notch currently in the 1st place spot. Pretty mid-zone here, but they do have Pargs and Raze close by. A lot of tight end duos here up close. I mean, this whole lobby is filled with the most experienced players in NA West. As Salty here gets a nice tag onto his opponent, unable to get the knockdown, but he knows it's close as Vixby finally is going to get eliminated.
Yeah, one of those players that they do like to play a little bit passive. They go for the surge, but this is kind of what happens. See, when you play that passive game that you're just going for surge and you don't find the shots, it really puts you on the back foot to either out heal it. You're almost forced to go into a box to try to get the damage that you need. It almost takes the game out of your control. And when it comes to Fortnite, when you have 50 of the best teams in the NA West region going at it, you want to control as much of your destiny as possible.
Echo here, playing it as a solo. We've seen a lot of solos clutch it up today, and we're only the second match, so I wouldn't be surprised if Echo can make something happen. We have Arkham Epic getting a nice rotate in, getting tagged, but it's enough to stay up as they're going to continue their wrath here, 224 above, trying to just find some shots on their opponents close by, maybe even find a rotate for this zone. Can they recycle a launch pad? Can they find a clear path through previous builds? What are they going to do? Looks like they're going to place a launch pad here as Nigel and Angel are looking for that high ground.
And it makes me wonder. I know Arkham at least had 2 in his inventory, but they launch padded twice. Whether recycled one or not, they might be fresh out of those launch pads, but that's not going to scare them. That's not going to stop them taking the pieces, still trying to put shots from the top. And they're taking certain covers because they know that's where players, if on the low ground, are going to have to travel through as they immediately switch targets. Echo by himself, 7th place, trying to pick up those placement points that his team needs while still simultaneously trying to look for those eliminations. Under siege, forced to drop down low a couple of layers, but he's still not finding that comfort that he's looking for.
I'm not sure if Echo already had this or if he just got this, but 8 eliminations for Echo just by himself. 904 above Storm Surge. What happened, Jacob? Echo is on a rampage right now, looking Elim after Elim as he gets another one down to 9 eliminations. Will he be able to get into that double-digit elimination spot as a solo?
I see where those 7s mean now. Them lucky number 7s goes in and out of a box. 4 eliminations though for Favs and Snacky. Almost 700 above the damage threshold for them. They're just looking for rotations. If an opportunity presents itself, they will take it. But Echo will go down with 9 eliminations. That's got to possibly jump them to the top of that leaderboard.
Nigel and Angel, they have the high ground, 4 eliminations, but it's all about positioning. It's all about that victory royale if they want to make it to the finals here. Epic Whale though, he's still with Arkham. He's still looking for those elims. His Delta has been cracked, only has health now, no more shield. But Arkham and Epic, they know they gotta stay close. Gotta stay compact here. Get the nice rotate into zone. There's still 19 duos up, so you do not want to get eliminated here.
Another elimination on the Jeffers, unwashed. Angel, Nigel holding the high ground, trying to put the pressure on, and Epic Well falls! Epic Well falls! Now it's all up to Arkham here to try to do it by himself. Victim as well, chasing a player back into the zone. He doesn't have the heals, but he has to think twice about what he wants to do. His HP is getting dwindled. He only has 50 left.
Victim as a solo, Arkham as a solo, 14 duos still up and running. Arkham now with 4 eliminations, 0 builds though, needs to make something happen here. Can he get the siphon? Can he get the materials? Thoric might just open an edit here. Will it be enough for Arkham? Will he have the shot? Will he have the time? He does not, but he's still going.
I like how he's just taking his time though, picking and choosing. He's been in every situation and worse, but a battle for the high ground. Snacky drops just a little bit, and this is their chance if they want to take advantage of Fav. But that communication has to be on point. He immediately drops down low, reunites with Snacky because they know as long as we stay alive, we can make some things happen. And he saves from the fall damage, drops into the water, switching targets in the blink of an eye. Snacky goes down, so does Favs, but have they done enough to get themselves more points?
Arkham still up, still making it happen as a solo, as Angel is still going as well. He had that battle for the high ground. He takes out Arkham now. 2 eliminations for Angel, 3 for Nigel. They're at 41 points, and now 3 duos alive. There's 5 players up. We have Ryan and his duo partner. They might have just secured the high ground. Will they be able to make it happen?
As always, they can hold on to it. We got players challenging, putting a big shot on the Lemon, forcing him to go up, forcing him to heal. Nigel's towards low, CZR towards the low ground. This is a 2v1 situation. This is theirs for the taking. He's trying to heal into the storm. It all depends as Ryan's going in, and he's coming out on top. Game number 2 goes to Ryan and Lemon.
Lemon Bull and Ryan FPS taking that #1 victory royale in game 2. I mean, they played it perfectly there. They did not go for the high ground too early. They did not play too aggressive when they didn't have to, but they took it at the perfect moment, closed it out with that player advantage, that 2 versus 1, and now we're gonna see them in the finals.
Such great plays all around, and honestly, they were probably one of those teams that was looking up when Nigel going up against Favs and Snacky for that high ground, forcing them to drop down low straight into their hands. That's more eliminations, that's more points.
I also want to give a shout out to Echo though, Jacob. 9 eliminations as a solo. I want to know what happened there, Jacob. Like, how did he make it happen?
There's only 3 people that can really break it down. Kelly, Panda, Clay. How did he get the elims?
Heard too much about Echo, but we're going to be echoing his name a lot throughout this day right now because 9 eliminations as a solo. What an incredible run. But of course, we have to give a shout out to Lemon Bowl and Ryan that are going to be moving on to the finals next week, Clay.
Yeah, you know, I may be allergic to lemons, but he wasn't allergic to a victory royale, and that's what we like to see coming into semifinals, Panda.
No, it absolutely is. Look, they had a formulaic plan going into that end game, and they executed on said plan, which is what you need to do when you're going into these games, right? Because that VR is so valuable.
But listen, sometimes your plans don't go the way you want, and we saw that from Epic Whale and Arcrum. It looked like they had an opportunity to win it all, and then they held second height for a long time. They go for the height, and then we see them fall.
Yeah, but take a look, Panda, right? They're fighting very well. They're ending quickly, and this is what we expect from them.
You're absolutely correct. I think their aggression here was definitely on point with the normal Arcrum Epic Whale we're used to seeing. I remember we're looking in the back, right? We're watching all this unfold, and we're like, man, this is peak form for Arcrum and Epic Whale. This is what we love to see, right? These are the adjustments we wanted to see from a team like this if they wanted a good chance here to get into the finals.
And Arcrum, you know, did a pretty good run as a solo once Epic Whale fell, but he was only able to grab so many eliminations. But still, that is a good thing to do when you're trying to get those points to get into the top 6. But of course, we have to talk about Favs and Snacky right there. Another great run, Panda.
Another great run, but not quite the VR. I mean, look, this is a team that they know how to get the eliminations, they know how to play well, and they've been making it into the end game. This is something we didn't really see from them in the qualifier, so that's a really good sign for me to think, okay, this team now has a chance to walk away with a VR.
And they weren't worried about Surge, right? Normally we see them worried about Surge a little bit. It's because of these mid-game fights that they were taking that they really did well. I was concerned mostly about their constant look for high ground, but unwillingness to take it, right? We saw them look up 3 different times for the high ground and not go for it. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter because they still got a lot of points on the board.
Well, by zone 8, we're seeing right here, they did try and go for that high ground still, and it didn't just work out. Angel and Nigel were able to hold height really well against them, and Snacky and Fabs had to make a play, dropping all the way down to the low ground.
And actually, there was a moment there that we didn't get to see behind the scenes. You know, Snacky ran out of material. Ooh. So that was the reason he ended up going, or they ended up going down. But he actually saved himself there with a mantle. I don't know if you guys saw that in the clip, so that's clean. But wait
a minute.
What is happening? Is this chapter 2 all over again?
We know Takada and Jacob are high-fiving in the back right now because Arcrum and Epic Whale are in first place with 71 points. 8 eliminations. Of course, though, we still have Nitrix and Caesar in second place. Favs and Snacky now jumping up into third. Sako and Kimchi's going to be in 5th or 4th place. Pars and Ray's in 5th. A lot of our picks doing pretty well.
You don't mind dropping to 8th? I'll take it for right now. You know, I want to see them come out, get a little bit more points on the board. But yeah, is this chapter 2 or chapter 3, Panda?
Hey, listen, I'm struggling to find the difference here when it's looking at this NA West leaderboard. But look, with all the teams doing as well as they are, is one VR away or a little bit more consistency away from walking away with a final spot.
Well, speaking of VRs, let's remind ourselves once again how Lemon and Ryan grabbed that final VR for game number 2.
Yeah, take a look. Right, 4 elims already on the board when they get into this final moments. And I like that Ryan used the last little bit of his builds to go ahead and block off where they knew it would be. They didn't know exactly where CZR was, but they decided, you know what, let's block it off. They were healing, and let's just go ahead and get that elimination because, reminder, while it is that victory royale, had they not got that there, the points for consistency would have mattered.
No, and I mean, you know, I love seeing these new teams. That's the one thing that I love about, or there's many things I love about the semifinals, but I particularly love the fact that a lot of these unknown teams that we really don't get to speak about during the qualifiers can just make the right play, maybe not even all the way through the game, but in that final moment, if they're able to grab that VR, bam, they're on their way to the finals, Clay.
And that's what we love about Fortnite, right? The fact that you could get to the finals of the FNCS off of one victory royale and change your entire name completely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Look, it's exciting. We're watching some incredible gameplay start to finish, but it's not finished yet. There's still a lot left to go.
There's so much left to go, but I'm just going to say it right now. I want to see what Echo does in this next game. 9 eliminations as a solo player, absolutely out of his mind. And then, of course, we have to look to our reigning champions, Arcrum and Epic Whale, Favs and Snacky. Out of all of these incredible pros in NA West that we thought maybe they're falling off, they're showcasing that they're not done. They were just trying to lure everyone else into a false sense of security and go for that practice, because we've seen Arcrum and Epic Whale do it before.
And I want to add to this, right? We saw this earlier with Queasy and Hen. They even said this on socials, that they use the qualifiers as an extra practice time. And maybe that's what we're seeing from Arcrum, Epic Whale, Snacky, and Favs, because they're clearly showing up today.
Practice is important, but you know what's even more important, everyone? Game number 3, which is going to be starting right now. So let's head on over to our casters.
How come I didn't get this memo of them using qualifiers as practice? That would have saved me a lot of pain and anguish with my predictions.
Would have saved a lot, Jacob. But I mean, if they do it today, then you know, maybe you're not that cursed. But maybe. Kelly said it best. We're 2 games in, Jacob, and we've already seen Echo almost get double-digit elims as a solo in that late game. We've seen Epic Whale clutch it up as a solo. We've seen some duos just dominating the high ground to get that victory royale. And I mean, I can't wait to see what happens in these next 3 matches.
Yeah, game number 2 shows with Ryan and Lemon pulling out that big victory royale. That some may not know you, but it just takes one moment for us to remember your names at the end of the day, and they just booked their ticket to the finals. They got to be living on Cloud9 right now.
You know they're feeling good, but remember, another duo that's qualified through that victory royale means another open spot on the map. New drop spot. Is another duo going to try and contest it? Is it going to be uncontested? I mean, what's going to happen? We don't have to wait long to find out, because the battle bus is ready.
What's gonna happen? Who's gonna take over a spot? Is everybody going to land exactly where they should? That's everything and more we're gonna find out here on game number 3. But what hasn't changed is the Chonker Speedway drop, contested as can be, but it's kind of split out. One team taking the north, one team taking the south, and one team taking the Reese drop. And that's what I call it over there, by Speedway, part of Speed.
I like that, Jacob. I like that, as we have X-Rays here and his duo partner looking to make something happen again. But we saw what happened if they take too long in this early game engagement. It's not just 2 duos. There's that third duo. It's Chicken and his duo partner that sometimes decide to go in for that third party. It really just depends what happens in Chonker Speedway, how the engagement ends up. And it looks like they might be playing a little bit safer here, or maybe they just want to expand their loot path.
Yeah, they probably saw there's not a ton of floor loot towards the top. Typical gamer is getting chipped out of the sky before he could even touch the ground. 42 HP. That's what he's going to have to work with here, as Noah trying to look for what he can, as well as you can see it on the top of your screen. Lemon Bolt and Ryan, their first ever FNCS final. I'm saying for so long, West has so much untapped potential. It's insane.
That's what you love to see, Jacob. A duo that have not had a chance to get that spot in the finals, now making it happen through a victory royale. I mean, what more hype way to do it, right? So I'm super excited to see what they do, right? How they study for the finals, how their game plan is going to end up, as we got West here and Echo. We saw what Echo pulled off last game. Will they be able to make it happen here in game 3?
Yep, you can already see from the mini-map, it's going to be a southern pull of the zone, and it's going to be just below Coney Crossroads, so they're not going to have too much traveling to do, but you can also see why this is a little bit more of a tamer landing spot. Besides those shots that were fired on a typical gamer in the very beginning, it's because everybody's just trying to loot up, get their resources, and figure out a way to rotate before everything gets hot. But you saw Aiden and Moose in game number 1. They qualified. They got out of the Collider, and there's already a new team attempting to take their spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what their names are. They're their yellow tag on the minimap there at the bottom right, but who decided to take that spot, right? It's kind of risky because you don't know who else is going to do it, right? Will the Collider have that spot uncontested, or will 3 duos decide to try and take that spot after Aiden and Moose have qualified? But it looks like it's going to be Sal and Buzo who are going to be taking that east side of the Collider. And so far, I mean, it could be working out for them as we switch over to Victor v. Jaden in the Jonesies here.
Ooh, good shots from Jaden. To drop the shield for just a brief moment, but already using those minis in the blink of an eye, trying to get it right back on up. And this is where they can try to make the decision, get out what they wanted, the damage for Storm Surge, or they continue to have to hold like they've done the past 2 games as Noah plays typical gamer, getting aggressive over here towards Sleepy Sound. They say, hey, not too far of a pull. We can still go ahead and fight this, and as long as we take it quickly now, but they're going against Echo, the 9 elimination game player as a solo last time. And there's also players winning, trying to get a piece of that pie as well from Northern Sleepy Sound.
I mean, they really got to be careful here. That third party is incredibly dangerous. Even if they get these 2 eliminations on Echo and West or vice versa, that third party duo is most likely going to come in